Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Visual Shop Talk on this here YouTube's. My name is AJ Speck. Joining me as always is
Shaun?
and
And
special guest tonight. I just interrupted him. I'm very sorry, Kody.
no, you're
but
good. You're good.
It's habit though because we had Shop
Yeah.
Talk for so long. But
Yeah.
Shop Talk alum and episode 2 shout out, Kody Johnson. Kody,
It's great to be
welcome,
back.
welcome back, man.
It is so great to be back. I miss it. I miss it a whole lot. So
Kody, it's good
hopefully-
to see your face, man.
Yeah, it's been a wild past few years, past few months. It's been crazy.
It doesn't
That's
feel
for
like it's
sure.
been years since we've actually recorded like consistently,
know.
but it literally has been like 3 years since we were on consistently.
Which is odd to say.
It's
Yeah.
wild.
For those that don't know, Kody was a pivotal part of Shop Talk, the podcast, and then he actually branched off. And you had a podcast, Kody. What was it called?
Yeah, it was. Alex and Cody's excellent recordings. We had that. Me and a lifelong friend of mine, Alex Thomas. We did kind of nerdy stuff here and there. I think we did around 10 episodes, but then my grad school picked up, and it's just been hectic ever since then. And I just didn't have the time to devote to it. So.
I always enjoyed your podcast because, your branch off of Shop Talk, Alex, and you have a good dynamic, and
Yeah.
you guys fed off, and it felt like a conversation between two
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
so you could just really kind of like sit on the couch and enjoy it.
Mhm.
And I would interrupt and talk over.
yeah, no, and that's just naturally from. I mean, we've known each other for we met in middle school, so I mean, we just have that rapport with each other that we were able to
Yeah.
sit down and do that. But you know how life is. Things pick up, things get busy. So
I mean, we
hopefully-
took a 3-year hiatus from Shop Talk.
Yeah.
So
It's true. But it does. It feels good. Feels good to get back and let my creative juices get flowing again, so to speak.
Definitely. Yeah. And it was 3 years, but I feel like none of us have really like disconnected from at least like staying in contact through another shout out through IJLSA. And
Yeah.
it's just it's one of those things that it was kind of a matter of when we would all get back on. And we do plan on having every other member from the original Shop Talk popping back on as well. But super excited that you were able to jump on with us tonight.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of things that I think are going to be a lot of fun for us to kind of be able to jump on and talk about. And since we didn't have you on for our Invincible episode, which felt so wrong.
we realized as we were talking, we're like, how did we do this without Kody? So
Seriously.
But it's all good. Hey,
it's
the
pivotal
show's
that
coming
you're
up.
on now.
Yeah. Well, with the show coming up, I'm sure we'll have a ton to talk about because that's
I
supposed to
can't
drop
wait.
before the end of the year.
Yes,
That could be
So.
something that we actually stream and like watch together.
I would love.
Not a bad idea.
That could be a lot of fun, throwing our beautiful faces in that and watching that.
I feel like I almost have to watch it like first. Like I have to watch the episode first. Because if my attention's on Shop Talk, my attention won't be on Invincible. You know what I mean?
So
Yeah.
Shane said that he was going to come on the show
Mm-hmm.
to stream and watch the Snyder Cut with me, and I said, "Fuck you," because I don't want you ruining it for me.
Yeah,
Since they'll be
right.
talking over it every second, and I won't be able to focus and enjoy the masterpiece, which is the Snyder Cut. But no,
can't
I agree,
wait.
Kody. We're probably gonna have to watch the episode and then we'll stream it and we'll talk
Yeah.
through it. Kind of like Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Except I'll be uplifting it instead of making fun of it.
Exactly. That's why you're welcome on the show anytime.
We definitely need a robot as well. So we need to work on that.
Okay.
Speaking of though, watching different shows and movies and such, Shaun, how about you get us going on this DC fandom that's coming up here soon?
So, as everyone knows, there's no live events, no Comic-Con this year. It's all online. DC is doing its own thing called the DC Fandome. And it's going to be, in my opinion, bigger than Comic-Con because the things that they have lined up for this is across everything DC, and they've been kicking butt lately. Comics, games, movies, TV, HBO Max. They've got different areas. There's a Hall of Heroes, which I'm assuming is going to be basically all about, the big guns.
Mhm.
Then they have the Kids Verse, which is, my daughter watches DC Superhero Girls, which is like the superheroes in high school. It's going to have the Insider Verse, the U-verse. I don't know what these mean, but there's all these different areas. It's a live 24-hour event where you can click into these different areas and drop in and see something special in each group. So the website is confusing yet intriguing if you go to see it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, there was something that showed like all the different islands that they had, so for the different universes. So I haven't really had a chance to like really deep dive into a lot of it. So a lot of what we're going to be talking about tonight is going to be kind of just like what we know and what we want to see. But what are some of the highlights you think that you've seen that you're excited about? Well, let's go with one. What is the first thing you're excited about?
Well, I know that they already have listed the movies that are already announced.
Okay.
They're going to be covering, which I'm excited about. The fact that they've announced all these means that there's going to be a ton of surprises that we don't know about. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
So they're already going to talk about The Flash. Mm-hmm. They're already going to talk about Shazam 2. James Gunn's Suicide Squad, which is guns blazing, going to be awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. They're already going to be talking about Aquaman 2. They're already going to be talking about The Batman with Matt Reeves, Wonder Woman 1984 with Patty Jenkins, and obviously the Snyder Cut. And they're going to reveal the name for the Snyder Cut. And then Zack Snyder was releasing things on Vero about new surprises coming up. So I don't know what that means. It's exciting to think about, but that's the aspect I know about. I know about the movie part.
Yeah.
Aren't they also releasing didn't they also like say they were doing something with Black Adam? Aren't they talking about Black Adam a little bit too with The Rock?
They released a teaser picture, and there's been rumors because Shazam 2 is definitely going to be mentioned and it's going to be confirmed.
Yeah.
But Black Adam, I'm looking forward to the announcement. And there's, I've heard rumors that Cavill signed on for cameos, and Black Adam is going to be one of those movies that has a cameo in.
I'd love to see him in Shazam too.
Yes, I would love that.
Seeing him interacting with Zachary Levi would be just a dream come true.
Zach Levi is awesome.
Yeah, he is.
He blew Shazam out of the park.
Yeah.
I was pretty blown away with Shazam.
Honestly, I was as well.
100%.
I just saw today that I don't know if it was from today, but I did see that they're looking to start filming soon on the second one. So it sounds like that's getting ready to get going again. And then is the Batman already filmed and they're in post-production?
No, they resumed filming.
Okay.
Because it got shut off because of the COVID.
Okay.
But it's filming in the UK again.
Got it.
Yeah, they're back at it.
You think we'll get a teaser for it?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
I hope so. Yeah. I'm optimistic. I'm hoping that we see a little bit of Pattinson in action.
Matt Reeves did tweet out, incredibly excited to see everyone at DC Fandome. Can't wait to share more about the Batman with you, ... So, I mean, that's there. And then there was a really good one from what's his name? I'm sorry. James Gunn as well, where he said, I can confirm the Suicide Squad is 100% zero interference coming from WB, the studio. No holds barred me. And again, I can't wait for you guys to get a glimpse of it at DC Fandome. And then he says, yes, I'm pimping Fandome a lot, but that's because I know how exciting it's going to be for my film and other stuff too. And like, I feel like there's been a ton of excitement, vocalized excitement from actors and actresses and directors and everybody that's involved. Yeah. And so I'm thrilled for what we can see.
I love the teasers you just brought up about the tweets. Did you hear about the Val Kilmer tweet?
No,
I didn't hear about that.
So Val Kilmer tweeted out, let's see if I can find it real quick. But basically, the secret is out. I will be appearing. They asked me to put on the cowl, and he's going to be showing up again at Fandom. And there's rumors of a Schumacher cut of Batman Forever.
Really?
And Joel Schumacher passed away. And so apparently there's like a 190-minute version of the movie.
What?
So WB Medley might have gone back years. And I'm not as like diehard Batman Forever.
Yeah.
But it would be kind of fun to see that on HBO Max.
Yeah.
I'll take anything.
I think Jim Carrey's performance was underrated. That was a good Riddler.
Yeah.
It was fun.
That's a heck of a spandex little suit there too. It's like, yeah, exactly. It's like one of those, like the Green Man suit that you can wear. It's just
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
tight. I'm pretty stoked. The Suicide Squad, I think, with James Gunn taking the helm on that one, it has the potential of being just ridiculously good.
There's a litany of characters that he's got in that movie too.
Yeah, and it's confirmed rated R, I believe.
Yeah,
is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me excited. That, and then the fact that the Batman's not going to be trying to be like brute kind of Batman. It's going to be detective Batman.
Yeah,
that's got me very, very excited. And the fact that they've got like most of his rogues gallery in that movie. Like,
I'm thinking it's going to be a very similar, but they said it's an original story, which is awesome.
Yeah,
but I'm thinking it's going to be likened to The Long Halloween, where it's like a very detective noir heavy, like Batman story. So the villains might not be like heavy hitters in there, but they'll make appearances.
What's the time frame of that? Like when is that story set?
The Batman?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think the first one at least is set pretty early in his career.
Okay.
And I think they mentioned that like with the first pictures of the Batmobile, it's kind of early in his career because it's really just like a modded sports car.
Yeah.
When they released pictures of him on the bike, it looks like it's put together like kind of like Bale's original armor was.
Yeah.
But it's also got spikes, kind of like the Court of Owls.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah. And the cowl looks stitched together, kind of like homemade. The car looks sick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The car kind of reminded me of maybe, I hope I'm remembering this right even, but it kind of reminded me of like a more badass Green Hornet.
Yeah.
Different kind of car, but like in that kind of vein. So,
yeah.
Kind of just gave me that. But
I'm excited to see what Matt Reeves does. Yeah.
I'll tell you who I'm excited about in that movie is Paul Dano as the Riddler.
Paul Dano's going to kill that role.
He's an eccentric guy. Like seeing him as the Riddler, like, yeah, I'm all about that.
I'm excited about him. I'm intrigued about Colin Farrell.
Yeah,
because like I would not have cast him as
he's the Penguin, right?
Yeah. I never would have thought that.
That's awesome. I love that.
I'm really interested to see. I'm just really interested about everything at this point.
So let's keep going with the movies. What is the Shazam 2 storyline supposed to be about? Because it's not going to be Black Adam, right?
I don't think they've really announced too much about what is actually going on. I know they had to film it sooner rather than later because the kids, you can't put it off too long.
Yeah.
Because,
it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Black Adam, because The Rock made an announcement basically saying he's been looking forward to playing a hero all of his life. And so and I know there's storylines where Black Adam is an anti-hero. And so he might not be a Shazam main villain.
I don't love that.
I don't love it either, because I was hoping The Rock would be Zach Levi's, heel.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see which route they go. But I don't think Black Adam's going to be the villain.
Going to have to be a pretty strong villain if they already introduced the entire Shazam family. Spoiler alert in the first one.
If you haven't seen it.
Yeah, apologies on that.
Apologies.
What was that, February of last year?
Yeah, exactly. If you haven't seen it yet, crawl out of your hole.
Yeah, read a book.
Let's be honest. If they're watching this, they've probably seen
It's a very good point.
Yes.
It's a very good point. But yeah, it's going to have to be someone pretty up there. So, but that could be really good.
I have to admit, I'm not as big on Shazam lore, so I don't know all of his rogues. I don't know his villains, but I'm excited to see what they do, because I thought that they really hit a home run with that character, and they did great with that movie. It was a good family movie.
Yeah,
it had just the right amount of corniness.
Yeah,
I disagree with everybody that said that's how Superman should be. I prefer Cavill and the way that they're progressing if they keep doing this in the Snyderverse. But we'll get into that in a minute.
It would be kind of fun to see that would never happen because of the tone in the DCEU is Shazam versus Superman, because it would I think they could do it, but I don't think they ever would.
They could have done it if he didn't show up in the lunchroom scene at the end of the first one.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
They already spoiled the Superman Shazam tussle, in my opinion.
Yeah. And really,
because that would have been really cool to see because it's happened in the animated movies too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's
That's a
one
great animated movie.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's even an arc I think in Justice League Unlimited where they had Shazam and Superman go at it because there was like a ploy by Lex Luthor,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and that was a really good arc they had even back in 2003.
You've got the Kingdom Come meeting between them. I know they're both older, obviously, but like how Shazam is, I would say embodiment of kryptonite compared to old Superman, where it's just like he's the end of times or whatever, and he's just there smiling,
I mean, there's ways they can do it, but it's going to be interesting to see because they've already introduced them as buddies,
Yeah, that's a good point.
Watch Val Kilmer be coming to introduce a Kingdom Come movie and not anything related to Batman.
Seriously.
I like Val Kilmer. I don't think he was a great Batman, but I like Val Kilmer. I like Iceman. Maybe he's there to pitch Maverick too. I mean, Top Gun 2, Maverick.
Real small thing about Iceman, like the MCU one, obviously we've only ever talked about DC in the 3 episodes we have, and Image, I suppose, but Shia LaBeouf was rumored as...
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
I love Shia LaBeouf.
I do too.
Phenomenal
I think he gets a lot of unnecessary hate.
He gets our support in this collective here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's a triumvirate of Shia fans here.
Oh yeah.
Sam Witwicky, man.
Keep digging, buddy. So Wonder Woman going up against Cheetah, that'll be pretty fun if they can really nail the speed of those two. Just with how fast Cheetah really is, I think that if they could lock that down, that could be a really intense movie, I think, in terms of showing superpowers.
I'm interested.
The new trailer the other day for that?
No,
I must have been under a rock. I missed it.
I thought there was a new trailer released the other day. At least it was a trailer I had not seen.
Well, I saw new images of Cheetah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Online, but I didn't see a new trailer. But I could have been just sleeping at the wheel.
Huh.
Yeah.
2 kids, man. They drive you crazy.
Hold on, I'm gonna see.
I didn't know that there was a new trailer. Oh wow! When I turned my second monitor on, it got bright there.
Right. I'm interested to see how they pull it off because they've got a lot of potential with the 80s in there, and Gal Gadot, I think she rocks that role.
Yeah,
she's awesome. What do you guys want to see at Fandom? As besides the things I announced or said that they're going to do, what's one thing that they haven't said that they're going to do that you would love to see?
Ooh, that they haven't said?
Yeah.
So
just pull it out of it.
Honestly, before the last couple of days, my answer would have been a little bit different because, and we'll talk about it in a little bit, but the Suicide Squad game is was kind of a bummer to me. And we can talk here in a second. Not because of what it is, because I think it's going to be amazing, but because I wanted it to just be a Justice League game. I wanted them to be able to come out and let me play with the Justice League in a way that wasn't just one-on-one combat like Injustice, even though Injustice 3 was announced as well. So that's pretty dope. But
I'm surprised though that they leaked that before Fandom.
Yeah. Oh, that was weird.
Both of those I thought would have been big, but that's one of the other things exciting about this thing, the 24-hour event, that what they've already announced, they're going to have surprises.
This is actually, I'm glad you asked what I was what we were hoping for, because I wanted to ask you guys, and this question reminded me of this. How would you do a Flash game? It's too fast. How would you even, you'd either have to slow it way down or it would have to be kind of spastic. And I don't know how it would even be possible.
Well, honestly, he'd be one of the hardest characters to do a video game for because
you would have to limit his power. It would have to be dumbed down, watered down. And then I would do it if it was up to me. You've played Grand Theft Auto, obviously. Mm-hmm. When you take drugs on Grand Theft Auto, the world slows down for you. Mm-hmm. You would have to do it like that.
Yeah, and I'm wondering how you'd be able to do an entire game or even of the Flash segments of it.
You would have to have him be a playable character, but not have a full Flash game. I don't think you can pull that off. And it's the same thing as a Superman game. I don't think you can pull off a full Superman game because his range of powers it's not like the Spider-Man game where he learns his powers or the Batman game where you acquire more abilities and skills and stealthiness, Mm-hmm. it's not like that.
Yeah, that's a very good point. You can make them villains, I suppose, like you could, like they are in. Well, not going to be villains. You can see in all the posters that they have like that purple stuff around their faces. So I'm assuming they're going to be like like a mind control type thing. But
Yeah.
I could see you going against them because then it's like a challenging boss that you have to beat, and you doing it with the Suicide Squad, which are humans in most cases,
And they're gaining powers or
and they're
special
not
abilities
like,
as they go.
yeah, and none of them are overwhelmingly OP, but they're just like they just kind of have to use their teamwork, I guess, to win certain things. So,
It might be a smarter route to
yeah,
go that way
it's a good
because
point.
you can make it more of a interactive, playable game where it's more realistic. Because realistically, I mean, in a Superman game, how many villains can you have that are? It's like, is he going to fight Lex Luthor?
I would. It would almost have to be like a Dragon Ball game, like
Yeah, but
where you're
everybody's
having
overpowered.
yeah,
So,
but it's like it would almost have to be like clashes like that where you're going so fast, but then it's like even that is like perform a combo and then watch them fight rather than actually have full control. And
Well,
so
what I think you could do is if you had Superman fly through rings, I think that could be a great way to go about it. Like just you gotta see how many rings you can fly Superman through.
you,
I think that'd be a great way to do a Superman game.
and
Personally.
that is the end of this episode and Shop Talk
Dude.
forever. That's a fantastic reference, dude.
Get Hollywood on the phone.
I'm glad you both got that because if either of you got that, it would have just been like this really awkward silence that like
I
nobody
was
would
What, like
have gotten.
Sonic?
I was very close to muting my mic because I about snorted.
That was awesome. I'm really happy you just said that. I haven't thought about that game in so long. What platform was that? Was that Super Nintendo?
I think it was it Nintendo 64?
I think it was,
Was
an
it
N64.
64?
Yeah,
Was it?
Oh
I
gosh,
think it
yeah.
was.
I can still remember trying to play it. Like
That's so funny. So funny.
awful.
All right, Cody, what would you want to see, man?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a little more abstract, but I would actually like to see them announce that DC Universe membership like rolled in together with HBO Max. And here's why. With all of this like Snyder Cut stuff, all the superhero movies they've got coming to HBO Max, it'd be cool for people that aren't into comics, like at the beginning or at the end of the movie saying, hey, if you like this, go ahead and read these comics that are already included within your subscription.
Yeah. Would be cool to like I haven't been on DC Universe in a minute. Can you do what you can in like YouTube where you can click on screen?
What do you mean? Like
Yes,
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah.
Um,
How cool would it be if they had it as the credits were rolling? It popped up like you were saying. These are the comics, the source material, and you can click right into it and go right to that comic.
yeah, that'd be
I
really
really
incredible.
like that idea because I know in the Star Wars universe, there's like comics that lead up to the movie
Mhm.
or that tell the backstory that they don't tell you about. And unless you're like a super fan, like my older brother is, Jim, he is like a mega uber Star Wars fan. I know Stacia's huge into Star Wars. Cody,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think you are.
Yeah. We're hoping to join the 501st here in a few years, but that's still a few years down.
I love you guys. You guys are great.
What's
Best
the
couple ever.
Thank you. What's the 501st?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Oh, that's the official costuming, like for the stormtrooper outfits, like for the screen replica, like stormtrooper.
It's a brigade of
Yeah.
the cosplayers,
Yeah,
but you have to be in it. It's like a
Yeah.
guild.
and there's like a photo approval process to make sure everything's like 100% screen accurate, and it's really
That's cool, man. That's
awesome.
relationship goals.
Yeah, they do like
Seriously.
charity work and all sorts of really cool stuff. Like, so it's a cool organization.
But my point is if DC did that also, like the leading comics, like, hey, by the way, you might want to check out Injustice if you enjoyed Batman versus Superman. You know, check out this storyline, The Dark Knight Returns. You know, and then click on that. And so it'd be a pretty cool idea, Cody.
Yeah,
I like that a
We've got a
lot.
couple good ones, man.
well, that I think would just, I mean, especially like with the whole like shakeup that's happening at DC now, and who knows what's going to end up happening with that. I think getting new readership any way you can, like
Yeah.
even if it is digitally, like more the merrier. You know?
One minute, especially if everybody's at home right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like content's more important now than ever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't had a chance, I feel like, to sit down and actually read anything really, I feel like, in so long that it would be so nice to just have that, Because I know that if you're watching something and it pops up and it says, here's the source material, I know that I'm going to take the next, hour or so and be like, oh yeah, I'm diving. And I would go right into it. So I really, really like that idea. That's really cool.
There's some things I posted in the group about some of the comics that are coming up too, that were announced, that are teased to be talked about at Fandome. And they're doing Metal 2, which is awesome.
Okay.
But they're also doing Dark Multiverse stories. And one of them, there's two that I know of already. One is, what if Hush was Batman? So Hush takes over as Batman. Okay. And so Batman's covered in the bandages and he's beating the crap out of some people. The other one that I'm really super pumped about is Flash does not correct the timeline in Flashpoint.
Yeah, I remember you posting about that.
Yeah.
I did not see that.
Yeah, I thought I tagged you in it, but I guess I didn't. I screwed up on that one.
You might have. I don't have Facebook on my phone or my laptop, or like I don't go to it as much anymore.
Probably good. I'm always on it. I'm just
when I get on, it's like I have like 30 different notifications from just birthdays and things like that. So I try to catch up on things, but I just miss it. So that's my bad.
But those are two things I'm excited about. One of the things I'm like, I would love to see, as much as I'd like to see them announce Batfleck's returning to the role, I'm really much more invested personally just in Man of Steel 2. I would love to see them announce that finally and just say, look, we're going to keep Cavill. I don't think Batfleck is going to happen, but I think Cavill could. And I think that'd be awesome. That's what I want to see out of Fandom.
Who would you like to see as his villain?
In the next movie? Brainiac.
Yeah. Brainiac? Do you think they would do Brainiac with Brainiac being so heavily invested in Krypton?
Yeah. I think they could. I think they could. Okay. I think they could really do it, especially if it's after the Flash movie and they introduce the multiverse. You could introduce Kara, and then you could do a Brainiac story. Okay. And it would be, I think, an amazing villain to step up because he's learned his lessons from Zod. He's fought Doomsday. Lex Luthor is always going to be a threat, but we need a heavy hitter, and Brainiac was done so poorly in the Christopher Reeves movies. Yeah. So poorly.
You know who I'd love to see for a Superman villain? The Elite.
The Elite. The Elite would be sick.
Well, that was one of our last podcast episodes was we asked about that exact question, and that was my answer in that too. Yeah. So I'm absolutely with you there.
Yeah,
the fun thing about Elite is not everybody knows about them.
Yeah. Well, there's that Superman movie, the Superman animated movie, Superman versus the Elite, and there's that whole commentary about how Superman, learned not to kill, or he did not kill. So I think that'd be a great third act for his parts, going from hey, I killed, to saying hey, this isn't the way, to teaching someone else also that this is not the way.
That's a good point.
Honestly, the twist at the end of that too, where this isn't you, you're not like this, and then what happens there, I think would just be phenomenal for a live action movie because they could pull it off so easily. I think.
Yeah. So, that'd be a great villain.
Yeah.
What about you, AJ?
Absolutely with you. Man, I don't know. I think that is my answer still, but I would say, what's his name? The dude who has the battle arena.
Mongol.
Thank you. Mongol would be a fun one. If they threw in little other characters with it as well, I think.
Yeah, Mongol would be
have a
fun
storyline.
Or if they did it like a part of Mongol and
or even just started with him and then
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, started that story there.
Yeah, could you imagine like a Mad Max style Escape from War world Superman movie?
Like Metal, yeah.
What about actually a Justice League versus oh man, I'm losing so much credibility right now. Like a Superman versus Ultraman type situation would be kind of fun too, to show the dark side of Superman.
I would love to see that Earth, the criminal. What is there?
Not Injustice League. Yeah, thank you. I couldn't think of it.
Crime Syndicate.
Crime Syndicate. Yeah.
Gosh, I'm failing.
Just edit this part out.
Yeah, no one needs to know.
No one needs to know. No, Crime Syndicate would be sick.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll if Snyder Cut does well? Do you think they'll greenlight Justice League 2?
If it does well, yeah. If Man of Steel does well, definitely. If Flash does well, I think honestly, it's just a matter of like the collective, because it's gonna if they can get individual in like I think individual hype, I guess, on these characters, I think they're gonna run with it. And if WB sees that if they take their hands off of these characters, they can actually have some good storylines, then yeah, I think that they would pop into something else.
Okay, so hypothetically, let's say they resign Cavill. That's my dream.
Mm-hmm.
You already got Momoa on. You already got Gal Gadot. Ray Fisher's obviously on board. Ezra Miller may or may not be. Who knows? But if the Flash movie does well, he will. Who would you recast? I know this wasn't on our outline, but who would you recast as to replace Batfleck in this Snyderverse? If he's going to be older and stay the same, I'd say John Hamm.
I like John Hamm. I would
like
prefer him being, well, it couldn't be younger. I really like Rob Stark as, I don't know what his name is, but Rob Stark as Batman would be a fun one.
He'd be cool.
I think, honestly, rather than a Justice League movie, though, or even just a new Batman movie, I think I would like to have a futuristic, oh my gosh, I'm so...
Batman Beyond.
Batman Beyond. I'm awful.
Well,
it's late for me. I'm tired.
They've hinted that they're going to do that with
I know
Keaton coming back.
Yeah, I would like something like that. I really like all like the futuristic villains in that.
Yeah.
And I think that'd be a lot of fun.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
But gosh, yeah, that would be a good one.
Let me ask you a question, Kody.
Okay.
Have you been reading anything? I know you're in school and you've got a lot of stuff going on.
I've been reading a little bit of Image here and there. They had a Humble bundle up last month, and so they had a bunch of really good books on there. So I've been kind of reading through that. I've been reading through Invincible again just to get ready for the show.
That was our homework. I just started.
Nice. And then Starman.
Oh, nice. How is that?
Starman is one of the most underrated comics I've ever read. It is.
Shane has been pitching that for years, and I just haven't picked it up.
It's incredible. Like if you get the chance to like read it on, because it's on DC Universe. So if you have that, I definitely highly recommend the read. It's got like this kind of almost indie grunge feel to it, and and like it's kind of this gateway from the golden era of comics into the modern like genre that we have.
That's cool.
And it kind of feels like this. You feel like you're making this transition from a lot of the golden age heroes into our modern landscape of comics. And there's a particular issue. I won't spoil what happens, but that's like the entire theme of the issue is how villains today are not the same as the villains of the golden age.
Nice.
And it's probably my all-time favorite single issue of a comic. I believe it's Starman 11.
That's high praise, my friend.
It's incredible. So I've been kind of working my way through that, and it's a pretty long run too. So that's one I highly recommend. If you're looking for something that's a little bit different, that's with some of a little bit more obscure heroes and villains with some of the Justice Society and things like that, then yeah, Starman is it's a great read.
I like it.
So, but other than that, not I think that's really the only stuff I've been reading recently. I mean,
that'll take up some time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Speaking of the older, I guess like the older set of heroes, I just read or listened to the Sandman audiobook. Have you guys had a chance to get into that?
I've read the first, I think, 4 volumes.
Okay.
Of the comic itself. I haven't listened to the audiobook, even though I've heard it's excellent.
Does Neil Gaiman narrate that?
Yeah. Extremely well. It's the highest production value I've ever heard in an audiobook in any genre of anything. It's incredible. James McAvoy he blows you away with his Morpheus.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Now wasn't Joseph Gordon-Levitt attached to making a movie about that?
He was for a while. I think Netflix recently. There's a series coming from Netflix.
Okay.
I know that for sure. Yeah, for Sandman.
Very cool. Very cool.
But I don't think the Joseph Gordon-Levitt thing is happening anymore. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's kind of been off the scene for like the last.
I think he's been behind the scenes. I think he's been like doing like some producing and directing.
Yeah, I know he's been working on some video games and stuff too,
which is cool.
Beyond Good and Evil too. I know he's been
Oh, that's
working
cool.
behind
I
the
didn't know
scenes on
that.
that. Yeah. And then he was in one movie I think that came out on Amazon recently. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but he plays an airline pilot. Um, but
I'm
yeah,
a big fan
apparently,
of his. I like him.
yeah, I've always liked Joseph Gordon-Levitt. You know, my favorite movie of his, even though it's technically not acting, I freaking love Treasure Planet.
Treasure Planet.
I love Treasure Planet.
That's
Like,
funny.
I don't even know what Treasure Planet is.
oh man, it was a Disney movie made in the early 2000s, and it was right during that transition from 2D animation into 3D animation.
Okay.
And so this movie didn't get a whole lot of love because it was 2D animation, and nobody really cared for 2D animation at the time.
Because
But
it wasn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
I know Treasure Planet. Is that the one that? Okay, I think I know which one that is. I'm gonna pull something
yeah,
up and see if it's okay.
yeah. But I could talk for like half an hour on Treasure Planet. But
Cody, I got to give it to you, man. That was an
uh,
obscure reference, and I love it.
oh man. Okay,
Okay.
brief spiel on Treasure Planet. I think Treasure Planet actually sticks more with a theme of Treasure Island than a straight adaptation of Treasure Island would, because like in our society, like space is our frontier. So in the same way that like Treasure Island captured the wonder of like exploring the seven seas, Treasure Planet explored the wonder of sailing the stars and exploring the stars.
But
So
on a ship.
Yeah.
I remember it now. Seeing the big fat pirate who looks
Mhm.
like he's evil, but ends up being like the big loving like friend of his, if I'm remembering it correctly.
Mhm. He was kind of
Um,
evil, but then at the end he turns good and like kind
yeah,
of changes his ways. Yeah.
cool. I remember that. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Gosh, I haven't even thought about that movie in so long.
I
No,
mean,
that's what I'm saying. It's such an obscure reference. You and
I
the video
watched that
game reference. I
literally
love it.
last month. I watched that movie last month.
Nice.
Cody, you're awesome.
Seriously, I really do want. I hope you can come back on many
Yeah.
more times, man.
Oh yeah. Hopefully I can come on somewhat regularly.
Yeah.
Well, normally what we would do is we would do Top Shelf, but which is our recommendation of the week. But you already did that with Starman.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
AJ, are you reading anything?
I'm not. So I'm not actually reading anything right now. I just got done
Doing the audiobook.
re-listening. Yeah. So I've actually listened to Sandman twice now.
That's
Since
awesome.
it came out. I can't get over it. I mean, my buddy and I, so Matt got me into Sandman in the first place. And it was so ridiculous that this last Sunday we went over to like our neighborhood bar to hang out on the patio and just kind of catch up. I hadn't hung out in a while, and literally sat there with my phone on the table and just listened to an audiobook at a bar.
You're awesome,
Like,
dude.
it was insane because I just wouldn't let him stop. I was like, listen to this chapter. No, now listen to this one. Listen to this one. So I
That's when you
haven't
know it's
read,
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't read anything, but I think I am gonna, after I get the Compendium 3 for Invincible, I think I'm gonna start putting together a little Sandman collection because
Yeah.
I want to see it. I want to visualize what I
That's cool.
listen
Yeah,
to
and
now. So
it's an incredible book. Like
That's awesome.
yeah, the story is amazing. Like
Yeah.
you
It
can't
feels-
stop.
it feels more like mythology than it does a comic.
Yeah, that's a
It feels
yeah.
like you're reading like the Iliad or the Odyssey or something more similar to that than it does Dante's
Yeah.
Inferno.
They made a TV series out of Good Omens, but
Yep.
basically Neil Gaiman wrote that, and it's one of my favorite books. It's hysterical. It's visual. I mean, you can picture everything. It's really funny. It's mythological. It's like very biblical. It's fun. So I can only imagine Sandman's got to be the same way.
Well, and I also have Neil Gaiman's audiobook for Norse mythology.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
So he does a really good job with that too. But he doesn't just narrate; he literally is telling a story, and so I don't know, he changes how he talks with the story. But I highly recommend it. If neither of you have Audible, I can send it to you for free. As like your first book. So if you want it, I got you.
That would be great. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it's
I'm
amazing.
gonna have to take you up on that.
My little top shelf of the week is I read the Elseworld story, The Last Night on Earth. And it's a Batman where he's carrying the head of the Joker around, and it's an apocalyptic post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah.
And he's on a mission to figure out what the hell's going on. And not to spoil too much, but the beginning of the comic starts off and he's basically kind of like in an insane asylum.
Uh-huh.
And you know that rumor where all the villains are just there helping him?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Joker's his doctor, Harley Quinn's really his therapist, things like that. They actually do that, and it's fantastic.
Interesting.
Well, that sounds fun.
Starts off with a bang, and then the whole comic book is just really engaging, and the art's awesome. It's great.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, check that out.
There's so many good stories, man. So many good stories.
Well, this isn't nothing to do.
This isn't comic related, but I have been listening to a new podcast.
Okay.
And I think it was recommended by someone in the group. I think it was Jared who recommended it, but it's called Dungeons and Daddies. It's about four dads who are taking their kids to soccer practice, and they get sucked into this D&D realm. Okay.
That's awesome.
And they all get like these D&D powers. Like one of them becomes a barbarian. Like they're trying to rescue their kids because their kids got trapped in this. So they're role playing as
So it's
dads.
like Jumanji meets D&D.
Yeah. Yeah. And they each play like a different like type of dad.
That's awesome.
It's entertaining. It's hilarious. And
it's a podcast?
It's a podcast. Yeah.
Is it continuous or is it like episodic where they're all different? Okay. I got you.
Yeah. It's continuous.
Got it.
I like it. That's fun, man.
That's my other recommendation.
I like it. You did Top Shelf well.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Well, gentlemen, do we have anything else from Fandom that you guys wanted to discuss tonight?
I think we might have covered everything, man. I mean, everything that we know of. We're going to have to do another episode following Fandom to recap all the goodies that are unraveled.
I'm interested to see. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm saying I'm interested to see what happens with this whole comic shakeup that's going on with DC right now. Hopefully we'll get something out of this because it sounds like it's pretty rough.
Yeah, it sounds pretty brutal right now.
Do you know much about it? I know that there was a shakeup. They brought in somebody from the outside. They fired a lot of writers.
Yeah, a bunch of the editors are gone.
They're reviewing the work of a bunch of writers.
They've dissolved, I think, entire branches. It's from what I've read, they're saying it's probably the biggest shakeup ever in like comic book like history as far as like a company goes.
I think that might be a topic that we cover next week.
Yeah.
Shane knows a lot about it because Shane's been posting like crazy. I would love to have Shane on the show and
I love
describe it.
Shane's super active with all the creators on Twitter, and he knows a lot of the creators and editors himself.
He's become friends because he's made a presence for himself. In his work.
Shane's one of my favorite people to follow on Twitter. He's
fun.
His art, like the stuff he posts just about comics, is just like so insightful. It's like,
and as a colorist, he's really come a long way. He's done some amazing work.
Oh yeah.
Super exciting. It's awesome watching like the very first episodes that we had where we kind of like broke him out of his shell a little bit, like when he was meeting all of us and he's just like, I kind of wanted to do this on the side, blah, blah, blah. And now he's like a name
Mr. Big Time.
Twitter.
Mr. Big Time. He's so like cool. Conversing with like people that we read about.
Yeah, it's so cool. So DC Fandom is August 22nd. It's a 24-hour event, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Live event.
Live. So we are definitely not going to be obviously staying up to do that whole thing, but we will probably throw it together some sort of recap on that. Get as much as we can packed into hopefully less than an hour. But it's us.
It's easier said than done, man.
We thought this was going to be 15 minutes of not knowing what we were going to talk about. So.
Topic, us.
Yeah.
Always.
So we'll get that out. The Invincible episode, it's Tuesday night right now. Invincible is going to be coming out tomorrow. That is done. So that will be dropping tomorrow. Let us know what you think on that one. Let us know what you think here. If you can, give us a like, a subscribe, share the video out to anybody and everybody. And other than that, crack open a book and watch a movie. Let's just keep this going.
Keep it going.
All right. Thanks again, Kody. We'll definitely be having you back on, man. It was awesome having you back on.
It was good seeing y'all too, man.
AJ, it's been fun again, buddy.
Always,
man.
All right.
We'll see you guys soon.
Everybody.
Bye.